The ball doesn't lie. The ball is the circle. The circle is infinite. The infinite is lies. Our life is a lie. One letter off. What does it mean to believe? What does it mean to live? What word is in the middle of believe? As you tumble, are you humble? Do you know it all? Can you admit that you don't? Do you care to know? Do you care to grow? Do you want it more? What's below? No, no, no. Are you of this world or of this world? Are you the pearl or the swine? Be defined and don't whine, just shine.
Welcome back, ballers. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, ballers, to another episode on the BalllDontLie channel. I'm sure most people that are tuning in at this point are aware of the latest groundbreaking news about the death of Hulk Hogan. There have been a few... Actually, before I dive into this, Maggie, you're a real one. I can always rely on you to jump into the chat. Always good to see you. Let me find the comments here. Hey, Maggie, I want to say hello. God bless to you all. I just want, could I get a thumbs up really quick? You guys can hear me okay? I always want to make sure, because one of the very first videos I ever did, it was actually a self-recorded video, and then I found out the entire time my mic was muted. It was like a 40-minute video. So, all right, check mic check. I'm going to assume that that is a good thing. You guys can hear me okay? Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for joining. There will always be more to add to this code of just the latest death reported in the news. Big name, Mr. Hulk Hogan, Terry Jean something. Hello, Coffee Girl. You're another real MVP. Always great to see you. I titled this video, Hulk Hogan's Heart Explodes at age 71. And for those that have been following me mainly on the YouTube channel, the moment I started the YouTube channel, a lot happened within my life that kind of forced my hand to start making content on YouTube. And sure enough, just go back and watch and look at most of my prior thumbnails and videos. It's always about love, and I can't get away from it. I can't get away from it. And the more that I've been sharing this information, people like Rambo and Cody and a lot of other people have really started to flooding me with more and more examples of this love theme, which gives that validation, in my opinion, that I'm at least onto something, right? I've watched a couple of, live streams, a couple of videos today, a couple posts, but once again, nobody's ever talking about love, you guys. Nobody's touching on these love connections. So consider that kind of my silver bullet, if you will, when it comes to how these themes just continue day in and day out, especially with these bigger news stories. Don't forget about how they reported that Ozzy Osbourne was surrounded by love when he passed away. Maggie, you said AJ Hogan died on Christmas Eve in July. Which Hogan? What are we talking about? I'm sorry, that kind of confused me. He was in a movie called Santa with Muscles. Okay. Hogan died on Christmas Eve. Oh, are you saying that that's his actual death date? Wait, I'm sorry. That comment confuses me. So Maggie, if you could add a little more clarity to that, that'd be great. The Bible is the greatest love story of all time. Yeah, that it is. Read this, and I'll come back to you. Take that notebook. I got it right here. I got it right here. Okay. I don't know why tomorrow is Christmas in July. Call me stupid. I mean, at the end of the day, the truest, wisest people per Pythagoras. Was it Pythagoras? I don't remember. The wisest man admits that they know nothing. So, Maggie, that's very interesting. Please share more about how tomorrow is Christmas in July. So you guys can see my screen. I think we're all good to go. I just want to extend another thank you to everybody for tuning in, because this will be a code and or a presentation that you're not going to see from pretty much anybody in this community, especially right in line with themes that I've been talking about love since the Super Bowl of this year. And in that Super Bowl, who won the Super Bowl? The city of brotherly love, right? And I went on to talk about my name, BalllDontLie. It's a basketball term used, and how Allen Iverson was my favorite player, still is, of all time. And of course, you know, his nickname is The Answer, who plays in the city of brotherly love, aka love is the answer, you guys. Love is the answer. And they're telling us every freaking day with this kind of stuff. So, oh, yes, Marty, yes. Oh my God, yes, that was right in front of my face. I was actually looking into the whole brother. Oh my God, wow. Thank you. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Brotherly love. Brotherly love. And I'm feeling that brotherly love these days with, you know, people like the Occult Rejects. If you guys didn't see our live stream last night with Rambo, my God, what an awesome live stream that was. I had a blast. And Cody, you know, I reached out to Cody on this because he's Mr. Professional Wrestling when it comes to his decodes, which are always incredible. He's traveling right now. So, you know, eventually you're going to see a live stream from him. So look out for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to add my own two cents on this, my own spin, and showing you guys just another example. I mean, it's countless at this point about how much love is connected to all of these news stories. And before I dive in, Maggie says he was in that Santa movie with Mila Kunis, who was in Black Swan. That movie came out 3 days ago. 706. Wow. Wow. Ozzy was 76. Yeah. And I even touched on it in the live stream about how, isn't that interesting that the 76ers play in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love? You know what I mean? It's right there every time. I'm just able to add kind of a, you know, a sports take on it in a lot of ways. And I know a lot of folks out there don't necessarily have, you know, have grown up really paying attention to sports. So Hogan was 71, 701. The 701st prime is 126. Well, there you go. That ties back into Kobe, who was also born in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. And we're in the year of the snake. Wow, Maggie, you're on fire right now. That's crazy. If I knew that, I would have thrown that in there too. So thank you very much for the contributions. Yeah, Marty, thank you. Thank you. That was honestly one of my favorite codes in a long time, actually. and the numbers kind of aligned everything up with the White Sox to win yesterday. But for me, it was just more of, well, Michael Jordan's father died yesterday, the anniversary. And when that happened, Michael Jordan won his third championship. He's crying on the locker room floor, and then he quits basketball for 2 years to go play baseball for who? The Chicago White Sox. And of course, they're playing Tampa, called Raymond James Stadium, and Michael Jordan's father's name is James Raymond Jordan. So perfect. And shout out to anybody who took advantage of that, because there was a lot of value on the White Sox since they were down late in the game. And I did a live earlier today just breaking down that code. So thank you very much, Marty. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get started on the presentation. Talk about love, you guys. Talk about love. This is my little guy, Cooper. Cooper, hey, say hi. This is Cooper. And he's been a big part of my story this year, honestly, because I did a live stream the night before the Super Bowl this year talking about Cooper DeJean of Philadelphia. It was his birthday, his 22nd birthday. Eagles equals 22. And sure enough, Cooper DeJean has a pick six right before the Super Bowl halftime show. And then, you got Cooper Flag in the news going to Dallas, right up the road from where I live. And the Dallas Cowboys last year had a quarterback named Cooper Rush. And I'm not joking, you guys. I've talked a lot about the connections with hearts and ducks. And this little guy, he only eats duck hearts. I'm not joking. That's all he eats. He's the pickiest eater. And I don't know. I'm having a year where I'm just seeing the synchronicities happen so much. So it's okay, Coop. We're good. We're good. Back once again. I don't know. Did we talk about Hulk Hogan last night? I might have to rewatch it. It was a 2.5 hour stream, so there was a lot touched on. But that's very possible. The live stream that we did with Donut and Cody and Rambo. Cody, shout out to Cody. You can find him at Decoding with Cody 589 on YouTube. He mentioned Ozzy, and then we were talking about the Wizard of Oz and mind control and all that kind of stuff. And that was like 2 weeks before, that reported death. So it's very possible that Hulk Hogan was brought up last night, which is strange. Yeah, Marty, you're already getting ahead of me. You're already getting ahead of me. You'll see where I'm going with this. So for those of you guys that don't know, Hulk Hogan, his friend and former manager was named Jimmy Hart. And apparently, 2 days ago or even yesterday, he made a statement publicly that I believe essentially you don't need to worry about Hulk Hogan. And sure enough, here we are. So let's dive in, you guys. Let's dive in. Let me get my slides open. So first and foremost, why am I calling this Hulk Hogan's heart explodes at age 71? Well, like I said, my themes this entire year has been all about loves. And the love theme, I said loves because just look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, who won with loves stamped on their jersey. It's always there. But first and foremost, you guys, age 71, take note that the word hearts equals 71. In the simplest cipher, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. Type in the word hearts, you get 71. Okay? And like I've talked about a lot with my connections, once again, I went to the University of Arizona, and I've been talking a lot about the state of Arizona and how they were founded on Valentine's Day. And this ties back to Steve Kerr, who went to Arizona. We got the Kerrville floods. etc. There's a lot to be said about that. But the first thing I did, really, after seeing that was take a look at, okay, from Hulk Hogan's reported death today, July 24th, to the upcoming Valentine's Day in 2026, it's a span of 205 days. And today is the 205th day of the year. And additionally, today leaves 160 days left in the year. And today is exactly 160 days after Valentine's Day. So you have the day of the year, the days left in the year. Those numbers perfectly match with the date durations front and back from Valentine's Day, this past year's Valentine's Day and next year's Valentine's Day. And shout out Marty. He already stole my thunder here. But take a look how Hulk Hogan, once again, he passed away at age 71. Hearts equals 71. He died after suffering cardiac arrest. Well, what is that? That's a heart attack. Okay. And his death comes just 2 days after his former manager, Jimmy Hart, denies reports of Hogan being on his deathbed. Hogan was married 3 times, most recently to Sky Daly. I think that's kind of interesting when you think about everything that's been happening this year with the world of plane and helicopter crashes in the sky. And don't forget about, like, who just mentioned it? Rasty, pointing out that Hulk Hogan is NWO, New World Order. He had that whole scene. I would have to pull it back up, but where he talks about the Twin Towers are going to be crumbling down. Another air sky crash story back in the day. So of course he's married to someone named Sky. Nice, Maggie. Sky Daily equals 110 in reverse, like the Twin Towers. Also, Hulk Hogan dies in Clearwater. There's your water connection. We've talked about how love and water are intertwined as well with the divine feminine. Great stuff, you guys. Keep it up. So, okay. So we're touching on Hogan dies at 71, hearts equals 71. Measure it to Valentine's Day, and you'll see that the day of the year and the days left in the year perfectly overlap with the date durations front and back of Valentine's Day. And now you have Hulk Hogan's friend and former business manager just 2 days ago, essentially saying, you know, you don't need to worry about Hulk Hogan. Well, as I was literally making this presentation, you guys, I got a ping email from TMZ, and it said that Brooke Hogan, the daughter of Hulk Hogan, was grateful that she said, "I love you" to the Hulk, essentially, in her final conversation with Hulk Hogan. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there. And sure enough, look at this, you guys. Brooke Hogan had a short music stint. It's not that surprising. I mean, Hulk Hogan's been involved with politics and all kinds of shit. But what are the odds that Brooke Hogan has 3 songs during her music career that involve the word love? She has a song called Love You Both. She has another song called Love You, Hate You. And going back to that water connection recently, clear water, right? All that stuff. I mean, think about brook, a babbling brook. So there's that water connection once again. She also had a song called Love People. Okay, so there are 3 songs I could find right off the bat where she's love, 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 love. And then her dad dies, and she's so glad that she was able to say love you to her papa before she dies. So they reportedly tell us, right? That rolls back up to Jimmy Hart, a dear friend and former manager of Hulk Hogan, who just 2 days ago in the news said, you don't need to worry about Hulk Hogan, he's fine. This is where I will really like to pick Cody's brain on this. And I'm sure once he dives into it after he's traveling, he'll see it. He'll see it. I'd love for him to add more, but for those that don't know, in the world of professional wrestling, back in Hogan's heyday, one of his biggest rivals was Bret Hart. Seriously? How many more loves and hearts do I need to throw into this story? Because to me, at this point, it was already overwhelming. Yeah, exactly. Rasty says wrestling is Cody's field. So yeah, I really look forward to that live stream. For those that are in the chat or watching this and are not following Decoding with Cody, please, please make sure that you do so. So yeah, Cody's going to have a field day with this one, that's for sure. But yeah, we're talking about Jimmy Hart, the former manager and friend of Hulk Hogan, and then one of his biggest rivals was Bret Hart, spelt the exact same way. So you got that. And when you think about the number 71, you guys, 71 is the 20th prime number. So words like death and RIP both equal 20. Don't forget that time equals 20. Rambo has talked a lot about how 20 and 25, this is why this year has been a big time ritual, but also Hart. Look at that. The last name Hart, H-A-R-T, equals 20 as well. And he dies at age 71, the 20th prime. So that actually concludes my love/heart connections. But something that I've also been touching on a bit recently are the 666 connections and the murder connections with Ozzy Osbourne, which just happened 2 days ago now. It's been quite a week from the death of Theo Huxtable, then Ozzy, now Hulk Hogan, all in the same week. But take a look at this, you guys. When I think of Hulk Hogan, I try to zoom out and think of the simplest things connected. Why would they call him the Hulk? Well, anybody who's a big guy, big muscles, sometimes they're called the Hulk. But that all goes back to the cartoon, the Hulk, the superhero action figure, whatever you want to call him. And think about the release date of the movie Hulk back on June 17th, 2003. When you take a look at today's reported news of Hulk Hogan's death, it's a span of 38 days. Death, RIP, killing, murder, all equal 38. It's a big number associated with death. Next, I hinted at this in my other live stream earlier today. It was like one of the first alignments I found, which I thought was kind of interesting, is just that the reported death of Hulk Hogan, which equals 18, took place exactly 18 days before his next birthday. And there's a lot to be said about the connections with 88. Shout out JH1, who said in the last live stream that there's going to be a lot of 88 connections with this. Just look at how August 11th, the 8th month, 8 times 11 equals 88. His initials are Hulk Hogan, HH, H the 8th letter, so 88 right there. And don't forget too, I don't have a slide for this, but keep this in mind. Where is Hulk Hogan from? He's from Augusta. Literally just add an A to the end of it. So he was born in August in Augusta. So that's almost another double 88. For another 18, notice too, we were talking about the release date of the movie The Hulk. And I'll say this right here too. Here's another heart connection, you guys. Green is the heart chakra. The Hulk is green, right? And now that I think about it, Hulk Hogan's main color was red, right? He would wear red and yellow. And that makes me think of McDonald's, which their slogan is, I'm loving it. See what I'm saying? But just think about that green heart connection. Green is the heart chakra. And his former best friend and manager, his last name is Hart. And one of his, biggest rivals, his last name is Hart. And now he dies with a heart attack. And he's named after the Hulk, who's green, the heart chakra. Hopefully you guys can keep up with that. To me, that's very simple stuff. But for another 18, look at that. You can also say that today's news broke exactly 1 month and 18 days after the release date or anniversary of the release date of this movie. For another 18, where Hogan equals 18. And in closing, you guys, we're going to tie it back to 666. I did a lot of that with the Ozzy Osbourne stuff that just broke. But look at this, you guys. Keep in mind that the number 18 is directly aligned with 666, because if you add 6 plus 6 plus 6, you get 18, right? Now, if you multiply it, though, 6 times 6 times 6, you're going to get 216. And that matters big time, because when you take a look at the original founding date of the WWE, before they started changing their names and whatnot, from January 7th, the official birthday of the WWE, you can say that Hulk Hogan was born exactly 216 days after the founding date of WWE. And we know all about the satanic stuff that's been going on with the WWE forever. And his death happened 18 days before his next birthday, where 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. See what I'm saying? Shout out Maggie. Nice. 108 plus 108 equals 216. In numerology, the 0 doesn't matter, but when you look at it that way and just add the 0, you get your 216 as well. We were talking about Kobe earlier. It's literally in my books. I've done posts on it on Instagram, but don't forget that Kobe's official first statue, the one not with Gianna, but the statue of him walking off the court in his 81-point game, where he has his finger up, his finger down, the Baphomet stuff, that was in his 666th career game. And that statue was unveiled exactly, I'm not joking, look it up, 216 months and 18 days after that game, you guys. Not to mention Kobe had a 666, workout routine. He's the Black Mamba, the snake. Once again, we're in the year of the snake. So if anything, maybe I do a part 2 and look at how this was all aligned with Kobe too. I don't know. These types of rituals align not just with one person, but many. So keep that in mind. So we already touched on this here. Oh, geez. This camera bothers me sometimes. Sorry, guys. In closing, we were talking about Bret Hart earlier, right? This, what one of the bigger rivals, if you will, of Hulk Hogan. Well, what are the odds that today's reported death news of Hulk Hogan is exactly 11 months and 8 days before Bret Hart's next birthday? Which matters because 118, that's literally how you write the date of Hulk Hogan's birthday. You see what I'm saying? So you got that direct 118 connection as well. But that's all I have so far. I was trying to get something together that was timely in the date of the recent news. That's pretty much what everybody is talking about today. But sure enough, very quickly, I started seeing the heart and the love connections once again, you guys. I'm almost kind of annoying myself with just how much this is going on, but it's just further validation that this is once again another love ritual. There's a lot of other themes and alignments and rituals that are going on with this death as well. So I don't want to get it misconstrued. I'm not saying that I got all the answers. I certainly don't. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there about how, Hulk Hogan is tied in with Donald Trump, which is very valid. So on and so forth. But outside of that, that's all I have for you guys today. If there's anybody else in the chat or wants to call in and add an observation or ask a question, now would be the time to do it. So let me see if I can get the ticker up here with the phone line. Here we go, banners. So the phone line is open. It's on the ticker right now, you guys. And, if I don't get a call or two within the next, minute or two, it's all good. I just want to give the community an opportunity to chime in with anything else. Cody says, good stream, AJ. Go ahead. Appreciate it, Cody. Thank you very much. I will definitely be looking up Christmas in July. That's very interesting. Huh. Hulk Hogan equals 146, Trump's birthday. Yeah, like I said, the stream isn't about, the alignments with Donald Trump. There's a lot out there. But yeah, this is just further validation that, I've been on this love theme for many, this whole year, essentially. And here we go. We got another example. Don't forget that Ozzy Osbourne was surrounded by love. And now Hulk Hogan's heart explodes, and then his daughter Brooke is so thankful that she said, I love you to him before he perished. And she has songs with love, love, love all over the place. But anyways, I don't want to make this stream too long. But yeah, once again, last call. If you guys want to call in, add an observation, ask a question, anything else to look into. I know some people aren't as comfortable with, calling in or showing their face, which I can understand and respect. But just want to give you guys the opportunity to chime in if there's anything else to share. All right. Looks like we're good to go. So I will wrap this up just by thanking everybody for tuning in once again. This is obviously the, latest breaking news. Marty says Bret Hart is the only living member of the Hart Foundation. Ooh. Okay. That is definitely something to keep in mind. Bret Hart and Jimmy Hart. Keep an eye on these folks. One thing I didn't do in this presentation was look at Jimmy Hart's birthday. So that could be interesting. But I think I've gotten my point across. Maggie says, God bless you all. Love you guys. For real, I love you guys very, very much. Thank you guys for always tuning in. For you guys hitting that like and subscribe. Make sure to share where you see fit. At the end of the day, with these love themes and how dark some of this stuff can really be, I always do my best to preach the theme of love and building bridges instead of burning them. As Mr. says, last WWE appearance of Hulk Hogan was Hollywood was burning. Think about the burning heart. Think about I Pet Goat with the character Jesus, who has the burning heart, right, throughout that whole video. So thank you, Cody. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. I look forward to seeing a look at the video you mentioned that you'll be posting as well. There's always more to add to this, but I will humbly but confidently say nobody else is touching on these love themes really, for the most part, besides those that have kind of been latching on to what I've been talking about for a while now. So without further ado, I didn't get any calls, which is totally fine. I just wanted to offer up that opportunity to anybody who had anything else to share. But for the sake of keeping this somewhat tight, I will let you guys go. Thank you again to you all for tuning in. Love always. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care, ballers. Peace.